The information in this episode is current as of the date recorded and is not intended as financial, tax, or legal advice. You should consult your tax, financial, and/or legal advisors before implementing any transactions and/or strategies concerning your finances. And with that, let's get to this week's episode.
I'm Jason Nickerson, President and COO, and this is Financial Focus. On this week's episode, cryptocurrency takes another shock. A few weeks ago, the SEC officially sued one of the largest and most accessible crypto exchanges, Coinbase, in a Manhattan federal court. The case alleges that Coinbase violated the law by failing to register as a securities exchange broker and clearing agency. The SEC further stated that Coinbase allowed users to trade crypto assets that should have been registered as securities. So let's break this down into a couple of pieces. First, what qualifies as a security under U.S. law, and what could happen to your funds that you may have on Coinbase, and what can you do to protect yourself? In the first scenario, what qualifies as security, probably more than we want to cover in this episode, but basically the SEC is learning on something called the Howey Law to bring cases against crypto projects where in that law, the U.S. court ruled that investment of money in a common enterprise with profits to come solely from the efforts of others is a kind of security called an investment contract. Securities, as opposed to other assets, are strictly regulated and require disclosures. Probably more important is what could happen to your funds that you may have on deposit with Coinbase. Well, ultimately, you could be looking at temporary restrictions, or in the worst case scenario, if Coinbase were to go bankrupt, you become a creditor of Coinbase. So if you want to remain invested in crypto, you may want to consider moving your crypto assets to another form of storage like a cold wallet, which is something that is a device that is not connected to a network or the internet. So we can see that crypto continues to be a very controversial space in the financial world. Countries all across the globe have taken many different paths to try and deal with cryptocurrency, anywhere from extremely restrictive laws that don't allow trading or use at all, to those that are more accommodating, or something like the U.S., which is trying to implement several regulations to insert some control over cryptocurrency. In the end, I feel like we're closer to the beginning than the end of this cycle of regulation, so stay tuned for more developments. Thank you for joining us for this week's episode. We'll see you next week.